Okay, Caleb. All right. We're gonna try it again, y'all. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Okay. Went on my producer. He said he could hear us loud and clear, but I ended that one because I didn't know whether he could hear us or not. Hey, cousin Sam, I see you. I see you. I see you. I am sitting here with the one and only Mr. Caleb Robertson, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay, I need to know. Can y'all hear me on both devices? Can you hear me? Sam, let me know if you can hear me on Facebook. Producer, can you hear me right here on YouTube Live? If y'all can hear me on Facebook Live, okay, he said good to go. Yay, here we go, y'all. Hey. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for letting us know. All right, we are here live. Caleb, we had some technical difficulties, but that's all right. Look at God. We made through it. Thank you, producer. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, cousin, for letting me know. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. All right, we're gonna pop this thing off. We're about 15 minutes behind schedule, but that's all right. We're gonna, even if we have to go into 8:15, and then we're gonna go into 8:15. But listen, y'all, I am sitting here with the one and only Mr. Caleb Robertson. Right. Caleb is a college student at Ole Miss, going to school, studying public policy leadership. Just in case y'all missed that, PPL, but it's PPL, but it's the big word. So we won't be asking me later on in the chat. What is PPL? Public policy leadership. And I'm going to let Caleb explain all that to you all in a minute. But first of all, I just want to introduce him to you guys. Let you know that he's an 18-year-old freshman from Ole Miss. And he's into politics. And he has this big, huge, gigantic event that they're getting ready to do tomorrow. And the name of that is The Time.
It's your time. It's your time.
It's your time. And when we get on down in here, I'm going to let Caleb explain all that to you. But right now, we're going to just let Caleb introduce himself and say some things. And then we're going to jump into our questions and we're going to get this thing moving. Caleb, please introduce yourself to DM Fusion TV right here live on YouTube and on Facebook Live.
So again, my name is Caleb Robertson. From Aberdeen, Mississippi. I go to Ole Miss, the University of Mississippi, hotty toddy, where I do study public policy leadership.
Tell them like some things like what do that consist of?
So public policy, a lot of people ask, what is public policy and what are you going to do with that?
Right.
So it's no consistent answer with public policy because it's an avenue to a bunch of things. You can do politics, you can go pre-law with it, or you can do the business track. But it's a degree of flexible degree that you can do business with, real estate also, and banking.
Y'all heard what he said. He said it's not just a degree for politics. He gave you a list of things. By the way, Caleb is 18 years old. This young man is 18 years old. And he's about to drop some knowledge like there's no tomorrow.
I thank you for that. That was a good... I like that. Public policy, it's different from political science, pre-law. It's different from business. It's a combination of all of them. It makes you the best student you can be. It makes you the best leader you can be. It's only at Ole Miss. It's only offered as a bachelor's degree at Ole Miss. So that's why I chose that, and the money was why I chose going to Ole Miss. My family's always been a Hale State family with Mississippi State, but with the money and with that degree, I had to choose Ole Miss. So don't give me all the Bulldog fans with that.
I have nothing to say about that. So with that being said, that was Caleb's introduction. We're going to jump into this thing because, like I said, we're about 15 minutes behind. And when I was asked to do this, the mayor of Aberdeen, Mayor Scott, asked me to do this. He asked me to come up tonight to do this to get prepped for tomorrow, which is Saturday. Today is March 1st, so we're doing this DM Fusion podcast live here tonight with Caleb Robertson. And then tomorrow, 3 o'clock kickoff, we're going to do it's your time. The time is now. It's your time. The time is now. big event. They have a schedule lined up like, phew. I'm the MC, so I'll be running my mouth tonight. Tomorrow morning, we're doing Mix 106 radio station interview with DJ Lovebone at 9 o'clock. And then we're going to come back here at 12 o'clock. And I'm going to be doing another podcast interviewing some of the students from high school and from Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, ICC, all of them.
Ole Miss, ICC, and the high school, Aberdeen High School.
Correct.
So we're going to get a combination of 3 different genre ages of students in here tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock is kickoff showtime with It's Your Time. So we're going to kick into this thing. Question number 1: why is it important for young adults to exercise their right to vote, and how can they get registered in time for the upcoming election? And I'm going to let Caleb answer that question. So what can some of the young people do? You know, before we came live, we was talking while I was putting on my makeup, y'all. He got a chance to watch me put on makeup. So what was, we kind of spoke on this question. So what are some of the things that the young people need to do to get involved? Because, you know, like we were saying when I was putting my makeup on, they start at 15. From 14 to 15, they're in the 9th grade, right? So there's no such thing as too early to even think about registering to vote. Registering to vote. When you're 14, 15, you're in the 9th, 10th grade. Before you know it, you're 18, you're in the 12th grade, getting ready to graduate high school, start your freshman year of college. So tell the people right here on DM Fusion TV, you know, to question number 1, why is it so important for young adults, our young adults, because you're 18 years old.
Right. So I do think it's important, and the reason is being that when we go back to the 50s or the 60s, we see Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and you know, all the leaders back then, they understood what they needed to do to bring a change in just the black community and just as a community in general. They assessed the problem. So what I would say about that is our generation today does not know how to officially assess the problem of what we're looking for. We like to complain and we like to, you know, point fingers. But the main thing is to assess the problem. You have to get involved first, and by getting involved, that's starting while you're young in high school.
Right.
Being a part of student council, learning what can you do for the community. Just going into the food pantries and doing cemetery cleanups like we do in the mayor's youth council. Just being involved in that perspective, then you'll be able to see, hey, if your organization is having an event involved that's incorporating involvement in the community, you then see who shows up for those events.
Right.
And then once you see the people that shows up for those events, that tells you and that equips you with the knowledge when you get to that age of voting, who was there then. So if you didn't see those same people there while you was having those community events, then maybe, hey, those not the people I need to vote for, because they weren't even, when I was in high school, you didn't see them visible then.
Right.
So, hey, they're not the right people to be in office right now. And so if I didn't see them then, that's just like if a parent or a dad that you didn't have growing up while you were younger. You're not gonna have the same connection when you're older. So if you don't see someone
that's
visible
true.
Years before election time, you always have to find someone's character before it's time for them to be in the spotlight. So that's one thing that I looked for while I was younger, was a visible person. And that visible person can be a man or a female. Before a boy, seeing a male figure be out and you see them cut the grass while you're picking up leaves. They show you how to weed eat. And then you feel a sense of, hey, if he's a father figure to a fatherless child, then he'll be a good leader while to a community of 5,000 like in Aberdeen. So I believe it's a systematic thing. Starting at 15, like I said, being involved. If you're involved and you see others involved, then it's a continued cycle, because by that time it's a whole process. By the time you're 18, you'll see who you need to elect, and then by the time you're able to be elected, then you'll have those same characteristics as that you need to be involved in, and then you'll continue the same train. But it starts with you, and it's your time. So that's the whole thing that we're trying to stress is.
Right.
At this time in your life now, it's time to step out and be the change you want to see in Aberdeen or in your community.
Right.
Because it's a systematic thing and it's a train that goes on. It's a repeat train. So if you are proactive now at 15 through 18 years old, then the older you get, the bigger and better things come your way.
Right.
Right.
The more you would want to be involved, and the more that as
right. And you can never say that you weren't taught if you didn't put yourself out there. So if you don't go to school, you don't have no reason to say you weren't taught.
That's some good stuff right there.
The same that goes for being in the community. If you don't get out in the community, you have no means to say, well, you didn't see so and so out because you weren't out first.
That's
so
right.
If both of y'all are out, then
example.
You lead by example. If you see that leader out and then you're out as a follower, then you as a follower know how to pick a better leader. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole
Boy, I tell you, this podcast right here has already got heated up. Caleb has already put out some things that, that's stressing, why it is important for the young adults to get out there and exercise their rights to vote. And if you didn't get it in that whole spiel that he just did, and like I said, we are live right here on DM Fusion TV, live right here on YouTube, and we also live on Facebook. But what I have to add to what Caleb said, like leading by example, I think it's very important for our younger generation to get out. Why I think is important for them to get out and vote, register to vote, is because you have a voice. I have a voice, you have a voice. Now, come time that day, if you don't get out there, go and vote, if you're not incarcerated, if you're not dead or laying up in a hospital somewhere sick, surgery or whatever, and if you just can't get out and vote, I understand. I get that. If you are a registered voter, young people from 18 leading all the way up to 21, 25, because you can't register to vote until you're 18 years old. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, so by the time you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and if you're just working or if you're in college or you're living at home with your parents, and come that fateful Tuesday morning, if you don't get out to go and exercise your right to vote, if you got more excuses than somebody going to jail, shame on you, because that's your voice, your time, your vote. Because the name of this motto is what, Caleb?
It's your time. It's your time.
It's your time, young people. So we're going to get on to this thing. Question number 2. Can you share some statistics on, can you see that? Can you share some statistics on impact of young adult voters in recent election, and how can their participation make a difference? I think you kind of touched on that just now. Hey, this podcast is for y'all young folk, okay? We're talking to preteen, because the whole thing tomorrow is about preteen, young adults, college kids, to ages 25. So to piggyback off some of the things that Caleb said, to answer my next question, a lot of things that we do, as a people, yes. I think, like he's mentioned about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, not Ella Fitzgerald, I'm thinking about music. Malcolm X, y'all, that's who I was trying to say, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, so forth and so on. We got, back in our history, I'm 52 years old, Caleb is 18. Back in our history, that's what I know. So stepping back into that time, that's what we were taught in history. So those are the people that we had to look up to. Touching down now into the 22Ks, 2020s, 2001, 2024. I would like, for somebody that's watching this to please give us a little feedback on that if you can. We are live right here on DM Fusion TV, and we would like for you all, somebody to chime in and add on to that question that I just asked. And let me ask it again, because my camera has rolled up. I don't want to miss nobody. My camera is far away from me. So the question was, can you share some statistics on the impact of young adult voters in recent elections and how their participation can make a difference? Their participation can make a difference because you got a lot of young people out there like Caleb. Caleb is 18 years old, okay? And Caleb is out here doing the PPL, which is called the Public Policy Leadership. that right there alone is making an impact. He's one person right now, one voice, one man, one young man, one black man, one student, one freshman, one 18-year-old. And Caleb is sitting here tonight talking about leadership, in the political world at 18, and he goes to Ole Miss, and tomorrow he's going to bring along a group of kids from Aberdeen High School, from Itawamba Community College, and some of his friends from Ole Miss. So I think what Caleb is doing tonight, I think that is making a difference. So would you like to add to that, Caleb?
Oh, well, yeah. While you were saying that, I was pondering on something that I heard the other day, was that to piggyback off what you said earlier and what I said about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, that time frame was the 50s, the 60s, and so when we saw change, it was in the 70s. So what we're leaving out is the age group of people that were born in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, the 2010s.
Okay.
That age group right there didn't have anything to fight for.
Okay.
So we lost. So those people that were born in the 80s and the 90s, we lost that fighting mentality, because we came into comfort.
Do you think we lost the fight because we didn't have strong leadership during that time? You're 18 and I'm 52.
Right.
But you've done a lot of studying and researching, and you're going to school under that.
Right.
That is your major. So do you think, looking back at that, do you think that the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s lost that kind of empowerment due to not strong leadership? Because do we right now today, do we have a Martin Luther King? Do we have a Louis Farrakhan? Do we have a Malcolm X? Okay, you got something to say.
So and the farthest thing is, I wouldn't say even strong leadership. I would say leadership went in retirement.
Okay.
The reason I say that, because after that, after the bills were signed, after all the acts were made, those leaders sat down for a minute. So when they sat down, they got older. So when they got older, they died away. So what we were left with was celebrating Black History Month on February, and then that left NAACP just focusing on voting. We didn't have any else. We didn't have any other thing. Okay. So what we're facing with now is, hey, we don't see the NAACP as visible because it's so broad, but the leaders of NAACP are not reaching to the young voters. And the difference is because there was a big shift.
Mm-hmm. It was.
So churches, back in the day,
come on, talk to them.
In Sunday school,
talk to them.
That was the motivation. You go to Sunday school, and then they prepare you for life, and they prepared you to vote.
Right.
And they all went to marches. Right. They prepared you for leadership. So what we are now is, parents don't bring their kids to church.
Come on now.
Churches don't talk about voting.
Come on.
Voting
they don't talk about voting until it's time to vote.
Until it's time to vote.
Come on now.
That's a full year thing, and then you have to prune your kids on, hey, it's not a red, which is Republican, it's not a blue, which is Democrat, it's a right and a wrong. And you have to look at, well, hey, if this guy is voted in just because he's a Democrat, but he's swinging,
come on,
in the Republican fields when he gets up there, we're
not
looking at that. But that's things that we need to educate ourselves on, and that's why I chose public policy, because when we vote, Black people vote because we see blue and he's Democrat. But when that white man get up in there, then we don't see.
That's right.
When he shakes hands with the Republicans.
Talk to him, Caleb.
So and that's all about voter education. Voter education starts at home. It starts at local elections.
It starts at home, local elections, starts at your church ground, home, and then. But the sad part about it is, for the most of the people of the world, they don't start thinking about voting until the 6 months prior or the 4 month prior.
We don't think about it until that politician browses with something, or knock on your door.
Well,
that's what we think about.
You know what you're talking about, to be 18 years old.
And we do have a problem as a people. We love to complain.
As a people,
and complaining is not a bad thing.
Let me write that down. He said, we as a people.
Complaining is not a bad thing when you have legs attached to it.
Oh, come on, Caleb.
With legs, you walk with legs, so it has to be a walk with the complaining. If you complain,
if you're complaining, you have getting action. Something done.
Right, have
That's
action.
It.
Be proactive with it.
Be proactive.
With legs, you can do many things. You can run, so run your tail to the registration booth and get registered. Run to the election polls. Run to, and then with hands, you have hands. And when we have these little things in our pockets that, we know it, we can have anything in the palm of our hand with phones. So now our generation is born with phones in their hands, but we use them for different things. But TikTok is a thing.
It's a monster.
Oh man, it can tell you a lot of things.
Oh yes, it can.
It can make a person.
It can make you go viral.
It can make you go viral.
But check this out, Caleb. To add to what you're saying. Caleb just said he hit the nail on the head. So if we got the phone right here in our hand, we playing TikTok games, puzzles. We shopping. We on the phone. We texting. Why not educate ourselves and our younger adults, parents, about politics? Because tomorrow we're kicking off what, Caleb?
We're kicking off. It's your time. It's your time.
It is your time. It's your time. And Caleb is hitting this thing on the head. Y'all, I tell you one thing. Like I said, when Mayor Scott asked me to do this, I told him I had never done a one-on-one podcasting before. Sitting here and talking to a young man. This young man is not even 20. He's not even legal. He's not even 21. He's 18. My son is 26. My daughter is 30. And this young man is sitting here going to school at Ole Miss. And his study is public policy leadership. And you can tell that he's been groomed. You can tell that he's been, trained. You can tell that he's been educated. You can tell that he has had some strong leaderships in front of him. Because to be 18 years old, to sit here and talk like this and answer these questions and bringing everything to the forefront, I'm amazed. I'm 52 and I don't even know what to do but just sit here and look at it. Because like I said, tomorrow, the city of Aberdeen is having their It's Your Time kickoff event, and they're welcoming everybody to come in of all age group, all colors. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, the city of Aberdeen, this is your time. Show up and show out tomorrow. And I think at 8 a.m. is registration.
Right.
Registration
Every Saturday.
At 9. Yep. At 8 or 9 is registration. But the event, because people love to say, well, when do the entertainment start? 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. So while you filling out registration forms, there'll be guest speakers, there'll be appearances from the D9 organizations, there'll be 2 performances by 2 rap groups, there'll be music by DJ Lovebone, there'll be free food. So it's an event that you fill out a form, that's your registration form, and that'll take about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the rest of it is you enjoying your time outside at General Young Park at 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, and it according to the weather, it's not supposed to rain.
It's supposed to be sunny, and then we'll be under a tarp.
But if it do rain, we got a backup plan. We got a tarp for that. But like Caleb said, the food, you're gonna get them. You're gonna get free food.
Yeah, MOV. Men of Vision is providing the food. They're grilling, and they can grill. They can grill.
We about to go to the next question, baby. This right here is this thing is good. Caleb is not playing, y'all. Caleb is not playing. Okay, Caleb, I got another question for you. What are some of the common misconceptions of challenges that young adults may face when it comes time to voting, and how can they overcome them? What are some of the common misconceptions? Okay, we're going to stop right there. Or challenges that young adults may face when it comes time to vote. We're going to stop right there. Then you can piggyback. When you answer that, then we can go to part B. And how can they overcome?
Right.
So I want to hear from Mr. Caleb Robeson, because like I said, he's on fire. He's a young man with a vision. He studied this at school at Ole Miss. And Caleb, come on, baby, give it to him.
So misconceptions, they can include, it's not important. Many people are on their fast track day and will not on a fast track day. They will not stop and say voting is important. And then that comes from not seeing their parents vote.
Ooh.
If they don't see their parents, that's a lot of things. When I say if they don't see their parents going to church, they ain't gonna go to church. If they see
Caleb.
if they see their
man.
parents not going getting registered to vote, they're not gonna do it. And my pastor put it this way. He says, if you don't, your child is not gonna know how to do it unless you bring them with you.
Okay.
So if you bring them with you to church, then they'll like church. If you bring them with you to the registration booth and then tell them why you should do it, why you're taking them there. So don't just, the thing is, it's just like you raise a child just like how when you go to a museum and you get a tour guide.
Right.
You take them with you along the journey, but while you take them on the journey, they tell you about what you're looking at.
Right.
So when you take them down the street, tell them about, hey, this is where so-and-so stayed, and this is where it is. This is the civil rights thing right here. This is where your great-grandma stayed at. But when you get there, you tell them along the way, well, this is why, we're voting, because this.
It's a story.
It's a story. And so that builds upon character, that builds upon generational
curses.
Generational curses.
Because a lot of older people that have fought for us to be here, dead and gone, bless their heart, and thank you to all our ancestors. But our young people now, they just feel like they're, like you said a minute ago, they're comfortable. They feel like they don't need to do certain things. They gonna do what they want to do anyway. They ain't gonna listen to us. We ain't got no rights. We can't do this. We can't do that. White man make the law, white man break the law. But you still have a voice.
Right.
People of color, we still have a voice. Young adults. We are sitting here 18 and 52 years old telling you guys that you still have a voice. By the time you're 15, you need to be thinking about registering to vote because you have a voice. And by the time you're 18 to 21, you should have already been put in a little time at work. Because just like Caleb also said, you got to have a strong leadership. You got to have somebody. It got to be somebody. He didn't just up pop and do that thing just to be doing it. It was he had a foundation.
Right.
He had a foundation. So I'm gonna let him finish answering that question because there is a part B to that, and how can they overcome them? Okay.
So there was an old saying that said, tired of being tired. So to overcome something, you got to get tired of it first.
Okay.
So
this young man is out. He know what he's doing.
Right. So you get to a point. Because it's systematic. Like I said before, you get to a point where you're tired of seeing the same politician. You're tired of voting in the same politician that does nothing. But when you get to that point of being tired, then that's when you get older. So the youth is gone. So the youth portion of your life is gone by the time you're tired of getting tired. And then now we're trying to groom the next youth when you can go ahead and be proactive while you're young, and then get tired of being tired. You know what I mean? So the best way is, if it's just do it for your people that did it back a long ago. Do it for just because they sacrificed their lives, sacrificed their safety, sacrificed their children. Children jumped at the opportunity to go to vote back in the 50s, and I stressed it because they had a fire that we don't have now. Children back then had a fire to protest. Children back then had a fire to vote, and they wanted to be led. Nowadays, we don't want to be led by anyone.
All right, come on now, talk to them.
Since we don't want to be led, we don't want to follow.
Come on.
And so everyone is not meant to lead. Everyone has a place to follow.
You have
to. You have to have followers to make a system be the best system. So that breaks it right there. Being proactive.
I tell you, the only thing that I can say to that is just be proactive. Okay, Caleb, I got another question for you. What are some of the? We already did that one. How can this is a good one.
Okay.
How can social media and technology be used to engage and mobilize young adult voters? And what are some of the effective strategies that they have been used in the past? I'm gonna let Caleb talk to y'all on that one.
Right. So I'm a main I'm an advocate for social media because it can be used in two ways. It can be
Good
used
and
for
bad.
good and bad.
I knew you was gonna say that.
So with this event, I try to utilize. So what we will have is an influencer panel. Influencer panel will have about 4 to 5 influencers from Aberdeen that's big on social media, that's big on in parties, that's big that they use their faces and their presence to build to attract people to come. So this is what I communicated with 5 influencers that I knew.
Okay.
And I put them on the fly and I told them, well, hey, I recognize how people look up to you in Aberdeen community and the surrounding areas.
Okay.
So I want to utilize that for something that's good other than parties.
Okay.
So let's
Okay.
talk about what the mayor said. Let's talk about real stuff.
Let's talk about real stuff.
So let's
You want it.
Right. So let's do a QR code and let's ask the mayor real questions. But I want y'all to ask him questions. So with social media, social media is a game. When we see someone do it, we'll follow suit. So when people our age see influencers do something, then we follow suit and we'll flock to the influencer. So it's a game that, hey, is something that people use as a word of mouth. People use it as a word of discretion. What I mean by discretion, I mean is that by seeing a flyer on social media, you have the mental capacity to like it, comment, and share.
There you go.
You have that discretion.
Just like on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, comment.
Comment, right. So your comments matter because that's
good stuff.
That's literature that you put in that's vocalized into social media, and you sharing it. That grabs other people's attention when they see those specific people on that flyer. You're building just by doing something that takes 1 second builds morale for an event.
Woo! Caleb, you better talk to him. Go ahead,
Caleb.
And
it's important because social media has grown largely.
Tremendously.
And like I said with phones, kids now are born with social media in their hands.
You said. Babies born crying for a phone. Don't even know what it is, but they see a light and hear a sound.
Right. So it's kids on social media that's just scrolling just to scroll.
So why not give them something educational
to look at? Right.
And start now. Start right here, right now.
Right.
This is where they need to be. And like I said, we are here live on location right here in Aberdeen, Mississippi with Mr. Caleb Roberson, and he is an 18-year-old student from Ole Miss, and he is going to school to study public policy leadership, PPL. Not the PPL money, not the money, but the PPL, public policy leadership. And you have heard from him himself at 18 years old, and this is an event that you're putting on tomorrow. Right. This is Caleb's, is this your first event?
This is my first, voting event. It is.
Okay.
So it's pretty big for me, I guess.
I tell you one thing, you just let go and let God, and you just stay focused, and and keep doing what you're doing, because the community, the world, the people, the internet, this is live TV right here on DM Fusion TV. The world is going to see this. People are looking at us as we are live right now. You got 2 platforms. So to be a young man and to sit here in your own confident skin and talking about, what you got going on, and as a leadership for our young people, young adults, young people, and you hit home with something before we go to our last question, and you said something about, church and Sunday school, because it starts somewhere. With everything, it's a root somewhere. It's a root somewhere. I don't care what it is. It didn't just fall out the sky. It's a root somewhere. A baby was conceived from something, egg and a sperm. Once that baby was born, developing born, and wailed his first cry to expand his own lungs, because for 9 months or however many months, the mother been breathing for that baby. So basically what Caleb is saying, about our young adults and trying to put out information to get them to think about at 14, 15 years old, about voting and what the importance of it is. We're going to do question number 5, and we're going to wrap it up, because we had a conversation about our young people before we came live. And I want Caleb to go back and reiterate that thing that he said when you spoke about the rappers. So we're gonna go to our last question, and I'm gonna let you tie this thing down with that, because I want the people to hear what you have to say about that. Deborah says great information, will need it. Thank you so much, Deborah. Our last question, Caleb, is what message would you like to convey to young adults who may be hesitant or unsure about voting, and how can they become more informed and confident in their decision making? Great question. We're gonna knock it out with that one. Great question. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much. We're gonna let Caleb answer that question.
Well, the answer, to put it in a nutshell, and it's the definition of voting.
What's your
message? I'm gonna put it in this way. Voting impacts the world around you, the world you want to see, and the world you want to live in. And to come out of high school, to live through high school, to come into the world, you have to be equipped and not let the toils of life put you down.
All right.
So with the steps is, like I said I'm gonna say backstage, like we said back then. You have to be involved, and being involved is knowing your surroundings, knowing who's there, knowing who you can get to, and knowing your connections.
So that would be your message to the younger people,
right?
That would be part of your message.
Correct, right? So connections. What I mean is by that is you have to know what will get you to the place you want to be.
Okay.
And by that, like anything that I do, I put God into the forefront.
All right.
So when you do, anytime you're looking for a career path, when you get fresh out of high school, you ask God to give it to you.
Okay.
And so when you're unsure about where you want to be in life, like I said, if college is not the best place,
because college is not for everybody.
College is not for everybody, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it.
There you go.
So what I mean by that is, don't sit around in mom's house or dad's house, sitting the day away and letting them pay for everything until a job drops on you. You could be out in your community doing something, advocating for something until a change sparks in your life. So even when you're like a high schooler that's finna graduate, you see all your classmates getting college acceptances, going to the military, and I'm gonna put the military in there real fast.
Come on, because I'm waiting.
The military is a great opportunity for lost people that doesn't know where they want to be at, and people scoff up at the military. That I don't want to do that, but a military will teach you some good things that'll bring you back out into real life, and that'll set you up for the rest of your life.
But a lot of young people say, well, I'm not going to the military. I don't like the military. I don't want to go to the military because they telling me what to do. But it don't matter what you doing in life.
Somebody's gonna
be telling you what to do. Now, there's a question from you from 360. Right here, 360 Reflection said, great. For the young man, should you pay young people to vote? That's for you. That's a question for you.
Never. Voting is something that's in here, and it comes out here, and it comes out right here. What I mean by that is you got to have it up here that you want to vote.
Okay.
You can't pay me enough to vote for somebody.
Woo!
No matter if that's my cousin, no matter if that's my daddy, no matter if that's my friend. If I don't value them, me and them are not on the same viewpoint, if we don't have the same commonalities, if we don't see our community in the same light, that's not the person you should be voting for.
Woo.
And just because that person has money,
come on now, talk to him.
Money is the root of all evil. And just because
this young man is 18 years old, y'all.
Just because
let me say he is 18 years old. Okay. Go ahead, Caleb.
And like I said, you can't pay me enough, because one thing my mama always told me: you might be a fool, but don't be a sellout.
Don't be.
I'm not gonna be a fool for a sellout.
My mama told me don't be a fool.
I will never be like that. And that and to pay someone to vote, I always look at the core values. You have to have integrity. There's no integrity in that. So if you weren't even vote for and then again, if somebody put money in your hand, that you give it back.
Y'all
and that's
heard
a hard thing. And that's a hard thing when
let
it's
me take my
money.
glasses off. Y'all heard what he said. If somebody give y'all money to vote, give it back.
Because that's dirty money. That's dirty money.
Woo!
And that, and that,
because when they put that money in your hand, they're going to be expecting you to do this,
right.
and this.
They have you in the chokehold when they give you that money.
Yes, God.
And you don't, and just like folks don't want to go to the military because they have folks telling them what to do, but when you sell out for money, people are always gonna have you in the locks of their hands, and they can pull you any way they want you to go.
Woo.
So, and
there's nothing wrong with being in the military. Matter of fact, somebody, y'all, my camera is this far from me, but I'm just gonna come over here and read it. Y'all just gonna have to excuse me tonight. Facebook, y'all getting the bulk of it. Deborah Walter said, definitely research each candidate. She also came back and said, never give a blind vote, and vote based on what supports your values. Headset 360 said, I think every young man and woman should do 1 year in the military. And he just spoke on that. Caleb just talked about that. And I agree with you, Headset 360. I think that, they should too, but they just don't want to do it because they feel like somebody is telling them what to do. 360 Reflection says, pretty wise for his age. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 18 years old.
on that one.
18 years old. My phone about to die. But my Facebook phone is about to die, but that's okay. Y'all will get the bulk of it. It'll catch back up. But right here, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is 18 years old. He goes to Ole Miss, and his major is public policy leadership. And like he said, 360, he's been doing this for a while. He's been having a whole lot of training and a whole lot of time to sit back and analyze this thing, even at 18 years old, because that means he had to start somewhere. I don't know, was he in his mama's womb or was he riding his bike thinking about it? I don't know. When my son was younger, Caleb, and I'm going to add this to what you were saying, I'm going to let you tie it up and we're going to get out of this thing. But we can talk about something else because we ain't in no hurry, right?
You ain't in no hurry.
You can talk about this all night, can't you?
Okay.
But when my son was younger, like 5, and we was stationed in Washington, and I used to travel a lot. I used to travel back and forth because I had just got into music and I was trying to, find my way, flying back and forth to different places, at studios, writing songs, meeting people, networking, collaborating, all that kind of stuff. My son used to always say when I would go somewhere, when you ask your kid, well, baby, what you want mama to bring you back? My son used to always ask me to bring him back a newspaper at 5.
Really?
At 5, yes. And when Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton was both running for the presidential election, my son told me at his little elementary school, he told me, he said, Mama, and by the way, now he's 26 and he's cybersecurity in the Air Force, and he graduated high school a year early, so did my daughter. My son told me, he said, Mama, I voted for Barack Obama. He said, I was going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but I voted for Barack Obama because of this and this and this. So at 5, 6 years old, I'm sitting here looking at this boy. Now, him asking for newspaper was nothing new because he always asked me to bring him a newspaper back now. But for him to explain to me and tell me why in elementary, why he was going to vote for this person, but then voted for that person, that boy did something to my brain cells, y'all. So I'm almost sitting here with my son, because I'm older to be his mama, and listening to him talk and explain and break down. Caleb, all I have to say is, son, God bless you. Keep up the momentum. Keeps your head up, even when times get hard, even when, your friends and stuff may weary you off. People may say you're strange. People may say all you do is talk about talk about this and talk about that. But doggone it, you keep doing it, because our forefathers and ancestors, they did it, and it made a difference. And like you said, when it got to the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, what happened?
You fell out.
And I'm gonna let you wrap it up, because we got some more comments coming in. But I'm gonna let you wrap it up, Caleb.
So I did want to usher in what you said about the rappers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the event, and we'll have 2 rap performances by current high schoolers, as well as some of my classmates. And so what I wanted to do with that was, I wanted them to let them know that, hey, the city of Aberdeen cares about you and your venture. So the reason I try to put that emphasis on, well, if this program that we're doing is to attack the young voters and for them to get to voting status, then we need what we got on here.
Headset 360 said, we got the next black president sitting right beside you. 360 Reflection says, amazing show, Felisa. Deborah says, love. Deborah Walter says, love the show. 360 Reflection had a question. Do you think, Caleb, do you think young adults after high school should go to the military? So we're going to let you tie all that.
That wraps up what I was going to say, too.
So he hit the nail on the head. So we're going to let Caleb wrap this thing up, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to DM Fusion TV. I'm your girl, Felisa Janae. And you can catch us here each Tuesday, live 6 Central, 7 Eastern Time on the Talk to Felisa Janae podcast show. You can come back the next day, the next night, Wednesday night, where I'll have my girl Deborah with me, who is like my sister. And we'll be on here talking about everything on DM Fusion TV Live right here on YouTube. So Caleb, wrap it up, because tomorrow you got your big day for your first big full event. You got some questions. People are saying that you're the next president. People love your show. They love your you being like the wise man that you are. So take us out, Caleb. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Right. So like I was saying with the rap groups, it's important because with the epidemic that we're facing now is depression. A lot of young people get depressed. So what we're not getting through in high school, people leave high school not knowing where they want to go. The military is a great option. And young people don't want to do that, but the military will pay for school and it'll set you for the rest of your life.
Talk to him, Caleb.
So with our rap groups, I want to emphasize that we care. And so we don't just want your vote. We just don't want you to get registered to vote, but we actually care about you. You know, it's important that a city recognizes its youth. Mm-hmm. And so with that, very important. And when I say by youth, I had to expand.
Y'all are our future, though.
Yeah, right. So that age group is 18 and up with youth. As young as you feel, you're a part of youth. And we cannot forget that you're still a part of the community.
Come on, man.
I love to see my classmates thrive. I love to see older classmates of Aberdeen High School thrive, and that's beyond what my expectations. And so when the mayor asked me to put this thing together, I said, if you want to attract the youth, have them in your program.
You got to have them in your program. It's a root. You got to do
something. Have to have them in your program. So. And when you utilize that attracts more youth. Yes. So it's a formula to everything, and it's a purpose. So I've never been the person to have an ulterior motive with anything.
Come on now.
I like to be pure in everything that I do. And so when I asked them to be a part of it, it was generally so I can have the mayor put money in their pocket.
Come on now.
And so they have publicity with the communities to publicize that, hey, we're a group that's from Aberdeen, Mississippi, and we're still rapping, so that, hey, when we broadcast out there tomorrow, there's somebody, hope potentially that God blesses each live with a producer out there that wants to get with them.
Look what Cassandra Carter said. She said, our next generation among us. Amen.
So, you know, and to answer the question about military, is awesome, y'all. And what I would leave with anyone that's watching is, make sure our youth don't fall behind when we leave high school.
Come on, man.
Take us to fairs. We have to be more proactive with and not just lean on, hey, the school is gonna do it for them. I don't have to do anything else after that. We have to be the ones that take our kids to college visits, to military, to, hey, even if your child says they want their CDL,
come on,
they can't get their CDL until they're 21 years old, but they can go to a JUCO college for their 2 years and go and get them an associate's degree, and then they can get their CDL, and maybe they can even open something with that CDL. They can have a diesel mechanic shop, and so with their diesel mechanic shop, they have their CDL, they have that
can't nobody plan, y'all.
Their maintenance with that, and then they can have a shop with their own truck and have a whole functioning business, and then that's generational wealth for not only the parent but the children that come afterwards. So we have to plant a seed and let that seed grow.
Look what Headset 360 said. Tell that young man to go out and buy him some Bitcoins. Woo! Y'all, I mean, Caleb, when I say Caleb is 18, woo! Let me tell y'all something. 18 years old, this wise, ready, can answer any question. He ready. I have learned something from this podcast tonight, Caleb.
Right.
We're gonna see y'all tomorrow morning because we have to do the breakfast. I have to do radio tomorrow on Caleb's first event that's entitled
It's your time. 3 o'clock tomorrow, Aberdeen, Mississippi, General Young Park. Special guest, my auntie will be a guest speaker. And I love to bring her from Jackson anytime I can to speak because she's taught in Aberdeen and she was an administrator. People love her, and that's who I look up to a lot. And a lot of people look up to her. Actually, she was in a newspaper that her former student brought her up. He was actually the first black male teller at the first bank of Aberdeen, and he brought up little old Andrew Vassar, and so that's something that we have to look up to in our community.
And Cassandra Cox says need to bring back wood shops, Dr. Ed, and other programs back to high school. Give you something to look forward to. Amen. Thank you all so much for watching. Veronica Hodges says very wise young man. Hey Town, hey love. Thank y'all for watching. Hey everybody over here. Thank you. Let me tell y'all something. I didn't know. Hey Veronica, how you doing, love? Listen, y'all. I didn't know. Let me get back in front of the camera. I have to get up and go read the questions because the camera is like way ahead of it up here. I didn't know what was going to happen when we sat down and decided to do this. All I know is that the mayor of Aberdeen, Mayor Scott, asked us to do this. And I called my producer at the last minute. I said, hey, I think this is something good that needs to be on DM Fusion TV. Thank you so much to my producer, to my girl, Deborah. I love you guys so much. And thanks for the great questions. And by the way, Caleb, you answered each question like a champ.
Thank you.
I mean, you ready, young man. You ready. I feel like a real proud mama sitting here with him. I feel like a real proud mama. Deborah Walker said, I agree with Cassandra. Deborah says that she agreed with you about bringing things back to the schools for the kids, besides driver's ed, you know. Caleb, is there anything else that you want to say? Because we're getting ready to get out of here. I know we got a late start. We had some technical difficulties, but that's all right. We hit every nail on the head.
Right.
Facebook Live, thank y'all for watching. This is Mr. Caleb Robeson. He is a student at Ole Miss, and he is going to school to study public policy leadership. And if you guys have been watching in the last 45 to 50 minutes, Caleb is ready. Thank y'all so much. I am your girl, Felicia Janae, right here live on YouTube and right here, DM Fusion TV, where we are here each Tuesday, 6 Central, 7 Eastern Time. And we are here each Wednesday on DM Fusion TV with my girl, Deborah, 6 Central, 7 Eastern Time. Thank y'all so much. Cassandra says, great discussion, Caleb, and great questions, Felicia. Thank you so very much. Cassandra, I know I put you and Marcus on the spot. I know, girl. Ooh, Lord. Y'all blame it on the short hair. But thank y'all so much for watching. I am your girl, Felicia Janae. This is my young man, our president of the United States. He got to graduate high school, but
College.
He got to graduate college, probably what, in 2030, 2030-ish. Y'all gonna see him again. He is our next go right here on DM Fusion TV Live. You're going to be our next president because Caleb is ready. You just stay focused, stay strong, stay steadfast, and just remain humble and just ask the Holy Spirit to order your footsteps. And every time the devil throws something at you, you got my right to punch him in the face and keep on moving. Everybody is saying, wonderful job, great job. Everybody is giving you your props. Everybody's giving you your praise. Thank y'all so very much. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you. God bless. Good night. Good night. Good night. Caleb, you did that. And he is a college student at Ole Miss studying PPL, Public Policy Leadership. Thank you, Caleb. Thank y'all so much. We love you. Mwah. Thank God. You did that, baby. You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let you get back in front of the camera before I end it.
Okay.
Here we go. Don't move.